my beautiful babes, and welcome back to another video. And today we are just going to be doing a little anti-haul. Yes, anti-haul. There have been a lot of new releases that I wanted to sit down and talk to you guys about. So grab yourself a glass of wine or grab yourself your beverage of choice because we are going to be going through the crazy stuff that is coming out right now. Okay, and I am just kind of going through trend mood and seeing all the stuff that has recently been released. I am going to go back a little bit of ways so that way we can kind of talk about some of the stuff that has been released already as well, because I do have an opinion on some of that stuff. And one of the first things I want to talk about is Cosmetics actually came out with a new Gemini palette. I don't know how I actually feel about this one because it actually has been quite a while since the Gemini 1 palette released. And just for your information, I do not own the Gemini 1 palette. Sorry, my bangs are like bothering me. But it retails for $58 and it is not all matte. You get 10 shades and it looks like only 2 shimmer and the rest are matte. So this palette definitely does not appeal to me for that reason. I definitely am a shimmer girl. I prefer shimmers over mattes. I like to have mostly shimmer and like a couple of mattes sprinkled in to kind of help, you know, pull the look together. So I definitely don't think I will be picking this one up anytime soon. But leave me a comment down below if you picked that one up during the VIB sale, because I know that that was available at the time of the sale. And Catrice is actually coming out with a Disney collection, and the collection is going to include eyeshadow palettes, bronzer, body butter, body shimmer gel, and more. And it looks like the collection is like Dalmatian themed. Correct me in the comments below if that's not true, but that's what it looks like. It doesn't really say when it's coming, but it looks like it's going to be available on their website. So I don't know if it is going to be available at Ulta. But I try to avoid picking up like collabs or just like stuff like that, because what I've noticed is when I pick up collabs or just Disney themed palettes or just like kind of like kid themed palettes that might be geared towards adults that watch those shows when they were a kid, I tend to not use them very much. So I don't think I'll be picking that up. And it looks like Wet n Wild is also coming out with a Care Bears collection. And it looks like it's going to include a primer for $9, a highlighter for $6, and a blush for $6, and a like rainbow palette for $17, and a lot of other stuff. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but I actually did end up picking up the I ended up picking up like the sponges and the brush set with my points, and I thought it was actually a really good value and they were cute. That's why I picked those up. But yeah. And Patrick Ta came out with the Major Dimension Rose palette, and I think that palette looks so pretty. And I almost got that one in the sale instead of the Pat McGrath one. And if I am going to just go ahead and I will link my video that I did using the Bridgerton palette in the description if you would want to check that out. But yeah, this one I almost picked up, the Patrick Ta Rose palette, because rosy tones seem to be very on trend right now. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more rose palettes come out because it seems like to really be the trend right now. But this is retailing for $68. That is quite a lot, but you get 2 cream bases and the rest are a mix of neutral matte, satin, and pearlescent like shimmers. And You do get a couple of 2 creams, so those are really nice, and I think it is a nice accent to the palette because I actually use cream eyeshadows quite a bit underneath like my shimmers and stuff, and that really appeals to me as far as the palette, but it's just so expensive that I'm just like, that is a lot to spend on an eyeshadow palette that isn't like Pat McGrath, because I love her stuff. I will, you know, she is the queen when it comes to eyeshadows, but I don't think I will be picking this up unless it's during a Sephora sale, which we won't be having another one for a while, so. And it looks like we have another rose palette that came out during the Sephora sale, and this is the Artist Couture Supreme Mauves, and I have always wanted to try out Artist Couture's eyeshadow formula, and it is going to retail, or is retailing, for $45, which I think that is a little bit more reasonable than the $68 that the Patrick Ta is, and it's already available, and it looks like it has some really nice shimmers in it. But I'm not going to be picking it up right now. I'm just on a really low buy. I'm not really buying that many eyeshadow palettes because I really want to hit pan on a bunch of stuff. Like, I just want to use up a bunch of makeup and rotate through my stuff and enjoy what I have. But it looks like there is going to be a collab with Kendall / Kylie 2.0 collection coming from Kylie Cosmetics, and it looks like they're gonna have a bunch of different stuff. But I've got to be honest, the palette, it doesn't really look that exciting. Nothing really excites me about it. It's very, I don't know, this is a bad word, but I think it's kind of boring. Like, I wouldn't, I'm sure it's going to retail for like the $40 range or even up, so I'm definitely not going to be picking that one up. And it looks like there is a new collection coming out from Lunar Beauty, and I've never tried anything from Lunar Beauty. I've always wanted to, but it is like, I feel like it's kind of pricey for like a influencer brand. The eyeshadow palette is going for $48, and then the blush palette is going to be going for $35. And then there are going to be 3 different lip oils, which are going to run for $18 a piece. And the lip oils, it looks like they don't come in a set or anything. They're just sold individually, but I don't think I'm going to be picking this up. It's very neutral, and I have enough neutrals to last me a lifetime, so I don't think I'm going to be picking that up. And it looks like Sigma came out with a rosy tone palette as well. It's going to be called the New Mod palette, and it is a collection, so they do have some other stuff that is going to be available. And the palette is going to be retailing for $49. I don't think I'll be picking this up right away, but Sigma does run quite a bit of sales. They are kind of similar to Colourpop in that way, that they have frequent sales on their site. So yeah, I think I will wait for a sale for this one, but it does look really pretty. And I recently just pulled out the Enchanted palette for my collection from Sigma, and I bought it last year, and I don't think I used it that much, but I've been using it all the time. It's such a great spring palette. It's got like just a pop of green in there, and it's just super pretty. If you would like to see a tutorial with that palette, let me know, because I do think it is a really nice spring palette. I know it's an older palette, but it's super pretty. And I'm hoping I'm gonna say this right, but Clindiona Cosmetics is coming out with their Dragon Fruit palette, and this is going to have 13 shades with 6 different formulas. And I think I would be interested in picking this up because I actually do think it is a really good value, because it's going to be retailing for $59, but they're all multi-chrome, so that does kind of bring up the value of it. But I would want to get it on sale, I think, or if I couldn't get it on sale, then I don't know if I would pick it up, but it is a really good price, I think, considering that they're all multi-chromes, because I know multi-chromes usually go for $20 a piece. So when you think about that, and that there is 13 shades in the palette, I think that it is a really good value. And just one thing I really don't like about the palette is it does have like 2 darker shades in it. And if you use those kinds of shades on your lid, then that is good. But I don't tend to use a very dark shade all over the lid. I tend to go for more of a subdued look, kind of a lighter look. That tends to be what I go for on the everyday. I mean, sometimes I will branch out and I will do a dramatic eye look, but that isn't very often. And Colourpop is coming out with a Winnie the Pooh collection, and I just think this collection is so cute. The palette is going to retail for $18, and I had planned on purchasing this because I've been on a low buy, but I just kind of keep myself at a budget. And right now in my budget, for my beauty budget, I have $48. So I technically, if I wanted to, I could buy this palette, but it's out of stock. And it's probably a good thing, because I would probably just be buying it for the nostalgia, because I loved Winnie the Pooh as a kid. And it just looks super cute, and this is all neutrals. Like, why do I need this? But yeah, and they do have a highlighter set coming out as with the collection as well, and I don't think I'll be picking up any of those because they look very yellow toned and not like a natural yellow, like something that looks like it belongs on your eyes. So I don't think I will be picking that up. But if the eyeshadow palette comes back into stock, I may eventually pick it up during a Colourpop sale, because you know Colourpop be doing those sales and they draw you in. And speaking of Colourpop, they just, I think this was just posted today, yeah. They are coming out with an Apricot Me Not eyeshadow palette, and it doesn't show how much it's going to retail for, but I have no interest in buying this because the undertones look very similar to my Coast to Coral palette, and my maybe not quite the same undertone as the Sweet Talk palette. It is a little bit more neutral than that, but I don't need this. There is not 1% of me that thinks that I need this, that it is something I could use and I don't have already. So we're gonna skip out on that one. And Pat McGrath posted to her Instagram that she was going to be releasing something new. And I had no idea what it was, but I was intrigued because I love me some Pat McGrath, and I was very interested in seeing what she was coming out with. And you want to know what she was coming out with? She is coming out with the Divine Skincare Collection. Now, I love me some Pat McGrath, and I pretty much buy any eyeshadow palette she comes out with, or I would like to. And I have some of her blushes as well, but this, I don't need it. I don't need luxury skincare. I have a Clinique face wash that it does the job. It works. And I don't need something that's in a fancy rosy bottle, but it does look very pretty, and I hope that the collection does well for her. But And I think the last thing I'm going to touch on is Jaclyn Cosmetics is coming out with a new collection to celebrate Mother's Day, and it's a 20 pan eyeshadow palette, and it is gonna retail for $49. And this, I know I'm not gonna buy. There's not anything that excites me about this palette, and it honestly looks really boring. Like, the greens just look kind of dull, and there's just not anything that's really that special about the palette. And it looks like she's coming out with an eye primer as well, and some other stuff, like some new colors as far as like her liquid lipsticks go. I have never tried out any Jaclyn Hill liquid lipsticks before. Have any of you tried out any Jaclyn Hill liquid lipsticks? I think I would like to try one out at some point. I'm more of a lipstick and lip gloss kind of girl. I like more of a subtle, I don't like super matte lips, but I would maybe like to try one out at some point when my liquid lipstick collection pares down a little bit. And it looks like Kylie's skin is, but that was just my little anti-haul. All the stuff that's coming out that I'm not gonna buy. If you found this video fun or interesting, definitely go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me. I had a lot of fun doing this video, but I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.